Kenya's federal government to embark on National Tractor Recovery Program to boost agriculture. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo advises Nigerians to work before praying for the nation's economic challenges. And Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 spends 50 billion naira to mobilize states to combat COVID-19. Thank you for joining us on News Now. I am Onyi Adekunle. As part of efforts to boost agriculture in Nigeria, the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, is set to expand the National Tractor Recovery Program across the country. Executive Vice Chairman of the agency, Mohammed Aruna, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the Aso Villa on Wednesday. According to Haruna, this is part of the agency's mandate to promote the management of agriculture and provide support for farmers nationwide.
There are many tractors that litter the country all over places that are broken down. Usually the average lifespan of a tractor in Nigeria is not more than 13 months. After the farming season is abandoned, some require major repairs, some require few repairs. The next time you need tractors, people will go and be buying new ones. So what we do is that we are trying to ensure that all serviceable tractors are repaired, are deployed back to farm. However, this time around, we introduce management into it in such a way that you don't need to buy a new tractor when you need it. You go to the full, take it on lease or on hiring or on contract. After you finish tilting your farm, this will bring back to the full in our collection centers, in which MICA, Machinery Equipment West Africa, in which NASENI is a shareholder, we own 20% of that private company, will repair it, service it, ready for the next farming season. In this case, the issue of having abandoned tractors that are not working or serviceable does not arise. One important thing about this scheme is that it helps us to build more capacity of Nigerians on the act of doing these repairs and maintenance. But most importantly, we are also in collaboration with major manufacturers to supply the spare parts for these specific tractors that are more common in Nigeria.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo says the country is not doing the right thing to improve its poor economy and tackle poverty. Obasanjo, in his message to the nation held at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Villa in Abeokuta, Ogun State, cautioned Nigerian leaders to stop blaming God for insecurity, bad economy, poverty, and other challenges confronting the country. The ex-president said that with the enormous resources available in the country, Nigeria does not have to be poor and no Nigerian should go to bed hungry. He said prayers must go with work, but laments that many Nigerians only pray and do not work. Mammoth crowd continue to besiege offices of the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, following the directive by the federal government that SIM cards not linked with National Identification Number (NIN) be disconnected. The federal government has threatened that telecommunications operators who refuse to disconnect such customers after 2 weeks risk withdrawal of its operational license. TV360's Atinuke Nuke visited some of the centers in Abuja and now reports.
The extension of registrations for service providers to add valid national identification numbers to every SIM card registered by the telecom regulatory body has been fixed for 9th February 2021. But despite this, Nigerians are not leaving anything to chance as they continue to besiege offices of the National Identity Management Commission. This is one of the offices of the National Identity Management Commission at the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja. It is crowded just like every other registration centers we've been to. For days now, many people have been trying to register here without success, and the situation is leading to daily frustration.
I started coming here last week before Christmas, and the first day I came here, the crowd I met here was not funny. And amidst the whole coronavirus issue that they keep shouting every now and then, look at the crowd that's here. I came here that day around 8 o'clock, and the only thing I could do that day was to collect a number. And they dated me. They told me to come back on the 11th of January. And I just had to do it this year. They're collecting money to do it. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. I think this process, they should reinvent this process. If it's something that can be done in cyber cafes, or I don't know, something you can do on your phone, so that we don't have to gather like this and go through this kind of stress.
This is the 7th time where I'm coming here. They now collect my money at the gates that they allowed me in. They now allowed me in. So now I'm in Taraba State, and everything now you are doing in this world is with national ID card. And they didn't give me. And they are if I come here, I complain, they cannot allow me in. And they are not giving me. And anywhere I'm going, they are just chasing me like dog. Please, please. Government can talk to these people so that let them attend to person properly.
The National Identity Management Commission, however, said the process is a little slow due to the need to observe the COVID-19 protocols of social distancing. This only permits a limited number to converge in all centers nationwide. Meanwhile, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Issa Pantami, has approved the licensing of 173 agents and 30 state government public sector institutions to conduct enrollment of all persons, including legal residents, into the National Identity Database on behalf of the National Identity Management Commission. From Abuja, Atinuke Nuke, TV360 News.
And from Abuja to Lagos State, the crowd at the offices of NIMC is not giving up. At the Alausa head of the commission, at the Alausa head office of the commission, Lagosians are desperate to ensure that they are not cut off by their telecommunications operator. Applicants present at the NIMC office have lost patience with the exercise and lament what they describe as incompetence of the personnel as the exercise lacked orderliness. TV360's Timisola Adigun monitored the exercise and reports.
In what could be described as a race against time, these Lagosians are here to ensure their mobile phone numbers are linked with a national identification number. Some of them have been here since 4 o'clock in the morning. There were reports that some actually slept here overnight to be able to register early enough. But in all these, the exercise seems slow and lacks orderliness.
I came here on last Thursday. I couldn't get a chance to get in. Then I came yesterday. The same thing, we only wrote the name down. They don't allow us to get in. But people who met us here are getting in. They don't attend to us. So we struggle before we get home. It's after 3:30. I went home. But today I came again. People were with the left hand on standing, leave the road. People are taking car inside. Attend to them. So we are suffering.
It's been difficult doing the registration basically because one, you have to stand very, very long hours. Imagine standing 4, 5, 6 hours just to enter to have your registration process. You know, and then the booking system that is being said is being applied is not effective because when people write names, people don't call out those names. People have been here. So a man just walked up to me and told me that he has been here since 4 o'clock. He has written his name. He wrote his name yesterday. He still wrote his name today, this morning, and up till now, he's still outside.
The booking system introduced by NIMC to simplify the registration process is not going as seamless as envisaged. The system allows prospective applicants to register online and get a date to appear for the registration, but that also is not working.
The booking system that I am aware of, technology can be used to achieve that. And it's a very simple process. It's just by going online, do the pre-enrollment process, print out your slip. And during the pre-enrollment process, you book your date for the biometric card for any day. There should be a threshold. Once the threshold is being maximized, then the next available date pop up, such that once you click on it, all the possible enrollment centers where you can do this capture is being listed out without having to come here physically and have this crowd in this pandemic era.
Not only is the registration a major concern for some people here, many are worried that the crowd, in the desperation to get registered, is already violating the COVID-19 protocols, as many did not use nose masks and do not observe social distancing.
There are some who are here with their face mask or nose mask. There are others who are not here with them at all. So, protocol for COVID-19 is not observed in this place. And in such a place, you cannot expect social distance. because everybody wants to go in and do whatever he or she is here for. That is why you can see the crowd here.
Though the exercise is not as smooth as expected, these Lagosians say they are ready to stay as long as it requires to ensure they register, as they cannot afford to be disconnected by their telecoms operators. Semisola Adigun, TV360, Lagos.
As to the end of 2020, many Christians are still unsure of how to transit into the new year. This is because the traditional watch night service in different churches have been suspended by government as a result of COVID-19. Government is asking churches to close services by 11 p.m., but many people believe this will deprive them of the opportunity of offering prayers as they transit into the new year. TV360's Simisola Adigun went to town to sample people's opinion, and she files in this report.
The night of December 31 every year is one night Nigerians, especially Christians, hold dearly to heart. It is a night millions gather in different churches to pray into the new year in a vigil event. But this year, churches are only permitted to close by 11 p.m. as government curfew to curb COVID-19 infections starts by 12 midnight. This decision by government is not going down well with many people. Both church members and clergy have reacted to this.
According to what the Bible says, everything is in God's hand. Our protection is in God's hands. Do you understand? So when we put God first in whatever we are doing, every other thing is secondary. He knows how to protect his people from whatever is coming. Do you understand? He knows how to protect us from this pandemic. Comparing Nigeria to other countries, we can see that the percentage of how will I put it, is not much in our country. Of cases is not much in our country. So that is the work of God.
It is improper. That is my own assessment. It's improper. That is the creator you are making law against. What's the matter with us, my sister? What are we doing in this generation? What are we doing? What can you tell me? It's in the Bible in your hand. So you can't tell me anything about it. Just leave me alone. Let me call on my God. He will listen.
The government has not said there will not be crossover service. It has to be done in an environment that people will not be vulnerable to contact this particular virus. The service must not be more than 2 hours. So if people start service at 10, and by 12 o'clock, Happy New Year, people return to their homes. But it will be a very bad story if people are not given the opportunity of being in the presence of God as they cross over to another year. It is a very good way to start with God.
The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has reached an agreement with Lagos State government that all churches will end services by 11 p.m. But it is not sure if this decision will be complied with by all churches.
It's a good decision on the side of the government, because we should not claim ignorance of what is happening presently around the world. And you see, people are getting sick unnecessarily without want to, believe that this COVID-19 of 18 is real. I believe it's real, and many people have gone in the process. And government is trying to do their best to make sure that they curb the nemesis. So I think it is good on the side of government to take such a decision that a night will not mean that they will not continue to serve their God.
The increase in the figures of infection across the country is giving government a source of concern. But for the many, they are drawn between obeying government and violating the religious belief that has endured for centuries. Simisola Adigun, TV360, Lagos.
The Nigeria Air Force has eliminated many insurgents during airstrikes at the Sambisa forest in Borno State. The Defense Headquarters said the mission carried out by the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole have continued to deal decisive blows on the terrorist elements in the northeast. Director Defense Media Operations Major General John Enencha, in a statement on Tuesday, said the NAV jets bombed the S region in the heart of the Sambisa forest, neutralizing several terrorists in the process. The statement said NAV attack aircraft engaged the target area in successive bombardment, leading to the destruction of some of their structures and logistics stores, including a suspected anti-aircraft gun station, as the terrorists fired at the NAF aircraft. And still on security, the Kaduna state government says troops killed 9 armed bandits during a firefight late Monday night into the early hours of Tuesday along the Kaduna-Abuja highway. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, in a statement said troops acting on intelligence laid ambush and killed the bandits in a gun duel. He said a search of the area after the firefight revealed that 8 bandits were killed and their bodies recovered. In a separate incident, Aruwan said army and police officers also foiled another attempt by bandits to cross the Kaduna-Abuja highway with rustled cattle around Greenfield University. He added that the troops engaged the criminals in a firefight and killed 1 bandit. Meanwhile, at least 15 suspected members of different code gangs have been arrested by the Lagos State Police Command for acts of terrorism committed within the metropolis. The command also said it has recovered dangerous weapons from the gang who have been terrorizing residents of the Lekki and Ajah areas of the state. The spokesperson for the command, Muyiwa Adejobi, in a statement said the suspects were nabbed before they could carry out the planned attack in the area. Adejobi also revealed that at about 4 a.m. on Monday, while responding to a distress call from the Agufoye area of Ikorodu, the police surveillance team attached to Ikorodu division of the command arrested one 20-year-old Taye Lasisi with a locally made revolver pistol. After his arrest, the search was expanded to other black spots in the area where 13 other suspected cultists belonging to a confraternity were arrested. Well, let's take a short break here, but still to come. Tough time awaits Nigeria in January. NCDC warns over spike in COVID-19 cases. Details after this break. Thank you for staying with us on News Now. Here are some of our major stories tonight. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has said the country is not doing the right thing to improve its poor economy and tackle poverty. Obasanjo said this in his message to the nation at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Abeokuta, Ogun State. The ex-president cautioned Nigerian leaders to quit blaming God for insecurity, bad economy, poverty, and other challenges confronting the country. And we also told you that mammoth crowd have continued to besiege the office of the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, nationwide, following the directive by the federal government that SIM cards not linked with National Identification Number (NIN) be disconnected. The federal government has threatened that telecommunications operators who refuse to disconnect such customers after 2 weeks risk withdrawal of its operational license. And now, in case you missed any of our news bulletin or for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on all our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. So updates on the COVID-19 pandemic now. Nigeria has recorded 749 new COVID-19 infections, taking the country's caseload to 85,560. The new cases were reported from 19 states, with Lagos leading with 299 cases, while the latest figures indicate a sharp increase from the 397 infections recorded on Monday. 3 new deaths were recorded in the last 24 hours, taking the fatality toll to 1,267. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, in its daily update, also confirms that of the over 85,000 infections in the country, 71,937 have been discharged, while active cases stand at 12,300. 356. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has raised concerns over the rising daily number of coronavirus infections in the country, saying the health system is struggling to cope with the surge. Speaking at the briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 on Tuesday, the Director General of NCDC, Chikwe Ekwazu, warned that the nation would pay in January for disregarding the health protocols. Ekwazu said last week was the worst since the country started responding to the outbreak, as citizens have violated major safety protocols, letting their guards down during the festive season. And the federal government has revealed that a total of 50 billion naira was disbursed to all 36 states in the country in its efforts to fight the spread of COVID-19 in Nigeria. Chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Boss Mustafa, disclosed this at its national briefing in Abuja. The PTF chairman added that the least amount disbursed to a state was as much as 1 billion naira, according to the incidence action plan submitted by all states in the country.
As part of our national response, we have resourced all the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In terms of grants that have gone out to the states, under the leadership of President Muhammad Buhari, the least amount of money that has been collected by the 36 states is 1 billion naira. The least. President Buhari has resourced the states with about 50 billion naira. Lagos got 10, Kano got 5, 34 of them I think got, one got 2, and 34 I think got 1 billion. If you add it up, we're talking about 50 billion naira. All directed at promoting the activities and the response of COVID-19 in the various states. And that was based on the states submitting their incidence action plans, AIPs. What is their incidence action plans, what they are going to do about testing, about treatment, about isolation centers, and the rest. And all the 36 states, without exception, collected the money. So COVID-19 is real. It exists in the 36 states of the Federation plus the Federal Capital Territory.
Let's take another break here and return with business updates. Don't go away. Welcome back. Mary Kano is now standing by to give us the latest updates from the world of business. Over to you now, Mary.
Thank you, Onyi. Now in business, the National Association of Nigerian Traders, NANT, has urged the Nigerian government to inaugurate a committee to look into the seizure of legitimate goods and containers by customs during the border closure. This was disclosed by NANT's President Ken Okoha in an interview on Tuesday in Abuja. Okoha warned that most of the seized goods could have expired by now, as over 70% of the seized goods were agro products, especially those that were bound for export. NANT revealed that Nigerian traders had legitimate goods valued at billions, with expiry dates seized alongside smuggled goods when Nigeria shut its borders in August 2019. They added that goods valued at 240 billion naira were seized, while goods valued at 600 billion naira were in Benin Republic, citing that well over 1,000 trucks were still stranded at the borders. I will take a pause now and be back with stock market review. Nigerian stocks are headed for their best annual gain in about 7 years, rising by 45.7%. Now, this next best return was 42.3%, and this was recorded in 2017. This new turnover has made it the world's best Nigeria currently has been named the world best performing stock market of 2020. That's the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Bargain hunting by investors pushed trading today to close on a bullish note as 1.03% gain was recorded, which is 39,512 basis points. Market capitalization also witnessed a 2 billion naira gain to close at 20 trillion naira. Market breadth today also closed positive as 23 equities recorded losses against 19 equities. Nigerian stocks continue to attract institutional funds at a steady pace, which has encouraged investors to invest more in local stocks exhibiting good fundamentals. Now, the gainers list today sees BUA Cement maintain its record as top gainer with 6 naira gain, while international breweries followed next with 50 kobo gain. Now, Eterna and C&I Leasing also round off the list of top 4 gainers today with a combined 93 kobo gain. Now, on the other hand, Flour Mill and Guinness continue their bearish run as both equities witnessed a combined 1 naira 8 kobo gain. On the other hand, Union Bank of Nigeria and Cadbury also completes the list of the top losers with 5 kobo losses. Now, at the end of today's trading, 372 million shares worth 11 billion naira exchange hands in 5,186 deals. Now, on the global scene, the new strain of the novel coronavirus variant was detected today in the United States, and this affected the stock market as investors traded cautiously, which saw FTSE decline by 0.49%. Asian stock Nikkei was also down at 0.45%. Now, on the other hand, UK stocks Dow Jones closed positive as the stimulus payments rolled out on Tuesday night and COVID vaccine AstraZeneca gained approval for distribution, which helped both the market to close positive at 0.50%. Well, that's all on stock market review. Over to you, Oyin, for the rest of the news.
Well, thank you very much for that update, Mary, and very good news there for the Nigerian stock market.
Definitely.
Well, on that note, it's now time for entertainment news on News Now.
The newly released comedy of Funke Akindele and JJ's skills on Mageto the Saga has closed Nollywood 2020 year with a major bang. According to a report by CEAN, the star-studded feature film, which premiered on Christmas Day, raked in a cumulative revenue of 124,178,450 naira. The figures places the film on Nollywood's historical position as the first Nollywood film to gross over 98 million naira in its opening weekend and the highest grossing movie of 2020. Starring Funke Akindele Bello in the dual role of Lefty and Ayomide, Chioma Akpocha, Eniola Badmus, Tina Mba, Zubi Michael, Bimbo Thomas, Deyemi Okonawo, among others. The sequel follows the tale of 3 sisters leading separate lives but are reunited by a series of dramatic twists. Big Brother Nigeria reality star Cynthia Nwadioha aka Sisi is celebrating the season with her people, and she was recently spotted with the son of former Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha. Fans of the ex-housemates known as Spartans already took to social media extremely joyful and concluded that the duo were dating. Cynthia, however, dashed their hopes as she mentioned on her Instagram story that they are not an item and asked if it was a crime to spend Christmas with a friend. The reality star also noted that she had seen the different things her fan base had posted about the harmless short video. One of Nigeria's top female musicians, Yemi Alade, recently took to a verified Twitter page to ask her fans an important question. The self-styled Mama Africa seemed to be bothered by the conduct of strangers in comparison with friends. In the post, Yemi Alade asked why strangers seem to show love better than those that she actually knew. In no time, a number of Nigerians took to the singer's comment section to react to the issue. While some people said that the people the singer cares for are hypocrites, others said that even strangers also come with their own motives. And that's all we have for you in the entertainment segment of News Now.
With less than 6 months away from the Tokyo Olympics, Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Daria said Nigeria will compete in 11 sports. The minister disclosed this in a statement issued by Special Advisor on Media John Joshua Akonji on Wednesday in Abuja. Daria, however, said the country would only leverage on sports with comparative advantage and prospects of a podium finish. He noted that preparing and leveraging on such shots will be the focus of the ministry. The 2020 Tokyo Olympics, which was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, will now take place in the summer of 2021. Well, with that, we've come to the end of news now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Onyi Adekunle. Bye for now.